Hey guys, so in today's training, what I want to share with you is standard events and rather understanding standard events, the role that they play, and then how to use them and how to install them properly. So firstly, I just want to talk to you about standard events and why you need to be using them. Now, some of you may never have heard of the term standard events, and some of you are very comfortable with them. Likewise, you might be wondering, well, what is the difference between a standard event and a custom conversion? So what I want to show you is the Pixel tab. So we're going to head into the Pixels tab here. Okay, not sure. Oh, refresh. I logged out. Sorry, there we go. We will get our act together. And we're going to click on this here. So you have really two options when tracking conversions using Facebook ads. The first is that you can track conversions with standard events, or you can also track conversions with what we call custom conversions. The difference is really similar, but I always prefer to use standard events for a couple of reasons. Standard events allow you to, they have a lot more features, and they also aggregate all the reporting. So it's really easy to see straight in the dashboard what is happening with your campaigns. Now, custom conversions, I don't really like to use them at all, but they are definitely a lot easier to set up because all you need to set up a custom conversion is the URL. So whatever URL you're using is all you need, and then you can drop it under one of the conversion tracking. Now with standard events, you actually need to put a little piece of code on your website. So it's a little bit more fiddly, but I prefer standard events for a couple reasons. They allow you to aggregate the reporting for your campaigns. They also allow you to create custom audiences really easily. And it also allows you to use dynamic product ads. So especially if you're doing e-commerce, store with lots of products, you'll want to be using dynamic ads, and you cannot do that with a custom conversion. So the reason that we want to use this is essentially to track conversions. There are 9 standard events that we can track for, 9 categories, 9 conversion categories. And let's go through these really quickly. These are view content, so when someone views a product page or a landing page. Search, so when someone searches something on your site. Add to cart, this is a really good one when they're adding things to cart and you want to retarget people that didn't actually purchase. Add to wish list if you've got a wish list on your site. Initiate checkout, so people that actually started the checkout process. Add payment info where they added their credit card info. Purchase, this is the one where most of you are going to be tracking your conversions. Lead is also a very popular one, so we use this quite a bit with coaches and consultants that are booking calls. And then complete registration. For example, if someone registers to a webinar or they opt into your email list, you might want to be tracking their actions using this. Now, the way that this works is that you essentially need to drop this little piece of code here on the thank you page, on the thank you or the confirmation page that follows the action the person has taken that you want them to take. So here's the reasoning behind that. Let's say that you're tracking a purchase. You'll want to put this little piece of code on the thank you for buying from us page, essentially. And the logic behind that is essentially only people that went through a whole checkout and purchased are ever going to see that page, right? And so when you place this little snippet of code on that page, it will trigger the code. It will send the details back to Facebook, and Facebook will go, voila, we just got a hit on this page. If it was coming from one of our ads, it's then going to attribute that conversion to the ad. So it's really important to understand that the standard event codes only go on the confirmation or thank you pages of your website or whatever page follows that action, that desired action. Same thing for your custom conversions. You want to make sure that the URL that you are using for that is the actual thank you or confirmation page that you have for your site. So in short, those are the 9 standard events categories, and where you want to put this is on your thank you or confirmation page. Now let's have a quick look and show you exactly how to plug this into your page. So I'm just going to swipe this. This is your Pixel ID here, and let me copy this. And hopefully you've already installed this on your website. But let's say you want to add this to a lead page. You might need to reinstall this pixel on that page, on the thank you page of your lead page, for example. And so this is the basic Facebook pixel. It's all it's doing is it's tracking hits, and it's tracking the Facebook ID of those hits. As you can see here, essentially what it's tracking is a page view. What we want to do is we want to add the standard event in here. So I'm going to go back here, and we're going to basically find the standard event we want to use. Now, just to clarify, guys, it doesn't really matter which one you use. There's no science behind it. It's really the one that you're going to remember you're tracking for. So obviously, if you're tracking for sales, you want to do purchase. Or if you're tracking for a phone call, you might think lead is better. But choosing different ones doesn't affect your conversions at all. So we're going to copy this little snippet of code, and here's where it goes in the actual pixel. Now you see initially I pointed this out, track page view. What we want to do is we just want to drop this after the column, the semicolon. It copied the whole thing. I didn't copy this properly, so let me redo that. There we go. So we've just popped it in here, and that's where it goes. So let's just say you wanted to drop this in ClickFunnels. You have a ClickFunnels page. Well, all you're going to do is find the thank you page. Now this is a dummy funnel here, so I don't even think this has been edited. So let's just select this really quickly. And then you're going to click Edit Page. And under Settings, we're going to add the tracking code. And we've basically just copied this whole pixel with the standard event, as you can see. And we're going to drop it here. And we're going to click Save. Now remember, I've got the Pixel Tool Helper on my browser here. So if we preview this, what you'll see, oh, there you go. 2 pixels, page view, and lead. It's now tracking the standard event. Okay guys, so I want to quickly show you how it would work on a WordPress website. So this is the WordPress backend, and as you can see we've got the plugin Pixel Your Site. If you watched the Pixel training video, you would have installed this plugin. I highly recommend it. So this is how easy it is to set up a standard event on your WordPress site if you've got this plugin. So you literally go on here, as long as you've put in your Pixel ID, which you would have already done during the Pixel training, go into Standard Event Setup. And what you're going to do is just tell this plugin the URL that you want to drop that standard event on. So let's say this is my booking page form. So let's say that's where you go. You're going to tell them what standard event you're wanting to track. So a lead, a purchase, a completed registration, you get the gist, whatever it is. And you can even add a value. So especially if you're doing a purchase, you'll add a value such as $90 and the currency. And then you just click Save. You make sure you click Activate and then click Save. And it's as easy as that. Now what I quickly want to show you is how to actually bring this up in your reporting. I sort of mentioned this under the Pixel training, but just so to recap so you guys are aware. So as you can see here, we've got one conversion campaign, we've got a link click campaign. It doesn't really matter what kind of campaign you're doing, as long as you selected track all conversions from my campaign, you'll be able to report on it. So under columns, what we'll do is we'll go customize columns. And we're going to go complete, for this campaign specifically in this account, we're tracking complete registration. And I always like to go cost per complete registration as it allows me to know how much I'm spending to acquire each new person. Great, so now we go, this is just for today. Now we go, we've had 3 people complete the registration and it's costing around $9. So if you click over here, what you'll see is it's also tracked a lead, which is a phone call, someone booking a call. So that's why it's saying 4. It's tracking 2 separate conversions here. So this is how to bring up the standard event reporting in your ad account. So once you start putting a standard event, even if you have a link click campaign, as long as you customize your reporting column, you'll be able to track your standard event regardless of the type of campaign that you selected. So that is standard events in a nutshell. Why you would want to use them, how to install them properly, and the different types of standard events that we track.